Welcome to the Spirit Podcast, and this show is brought to you by Ivy League Brand.
Yeah, that's right, guys. We have an official sponsor. Go check them out at ivyleaguebrand.com, ivyleaguebrand.com. Use promo code Spirit Podcast to get yourself 16% off your purchase.
And the link will be in the description to go to that website. And thank you very much. Enjoy the show.
So make them stop and stare as I zone out. The clock ain't even handle me right now.
Local celebrity, my ass. I got you here, though, didn't I?
You got me here. I was coming here anyways. You just had to make me nervous because you know I'm not good with surprises.
I know you're not, but we have a special guest, reoccurring guest. You're the second person to be here 2 times.
I'm happy to be here.
Oh, that's right. If you don't recognize that voice, Jack
You
is
will
back.
recognize the face because he's got a very known face.
He does. Literally, we sat next to each other at Aaron and Angelica's wedding, and he just looked at me and went, "Do I know you?" I'm like, "Do I know you?"
LA Fitness.
LA Fitness and Paul's
You used
Park.
to go to LA Fitness?
Mm-hmm.
LA Fitness and Paul's Park.
Yep, Paul's Park, yep.
Yeah, he worked at the camp
Sure did.
where I worked out of, if that makes any sense. But it's Jack.
It's Jack.
Local celebrity. He's a local celebrity.
Local celebrity.
And
folks.
we're currently eating his, I was about to say
Venison.
sausage.
It's
Well,
venison.
that's the name of the episode.
Venison
I'm eating his sausage.
yeah,
Yeah, Jack took down a big buck.
Big
Right,
buck.
sure did.
How long ago was that? A couple weeks
October
ago.
3rd.
October 3rd, so fresh.
Yeah.
That's fresh meat.
I can't believe you got the meat this fast, dude.
That's the freshest meat you've ever eaten, bro.
It was so funny when we took the deer to the what was it, like the meat locker?
The John's Meat Market in Elgin sponsor me.
Shout out.
Sponsor us.
Listen, it is not cheap to get
No.
a deer processed. So
No. Well, it was funny because once we went to the deer processor, they like.
Was that English?
Yeah,
No.
that was English. They brought this like roller thing out, and it was just so funny.
the whole interaction
Yeah.
of like the whole situation was hysterical. Big garage door comes flying up. Here's a guy in a bloody apron comes
Ugh.
waddling out. Waddling out.
Yeah, waddling out pretty much. Like he had a couple.
I put the
shots
bed.
this morning.
Yeah, I put the bed of my truck down. We basically dragged the deer onto this cart, and then he's like, "All right, see ya. Have a good one." Bye."
That's
It's
it.
like, that was
Peace
all
out.
that
He
was
didn't
said.
even say like, "Hey, dude, good deer, man.
Yeah.
Great
No, no,
shot."
no.
Dude.
Okay, here's
Nice
what you have to
shot. That's
understand.
perfect, man.
Here's what my dad's an avid outdoorsman. He goes fishing. He does pheasants. He does all that shit. People that stuff, mount, process animals are the weirdest people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I could
don't.
see
They're
that.
not good at conversation.
Yeah, I
They're
could
just.
see
They're very like, oh, that's pretty, and then they look at their, and then they're like, what eyes can I
yeah.
find for this one? And they just like stare and drool. It's weird. It's really, they're bizarre people.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good.
so-
Yeah,
but,
that's, yeah, you're probably right there, man. I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that.
but God bless them, because someone's got to do it. You know.
Do they make good money?
You said that the way you said it answers your question.
It's a skill.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Do
it's
they
a
make
skill.
good
It's
money?
definitely a skill.
It is a skill. I
It's
mean, yeah.
expensive. They have to make good money because when we were driving to the meat market, because this is my first year with a bow, and when Chris and I were driving to the meat market, I was calling a bunch of taxidermists around, and I call one in a town next door, and I asked them how much for a shoulder mount, for like a wall mount, and because it's a pretty nice deer that I got, and he's like, oh, we'll do, if you want it in about a year, we'll do $650. If you want it in 6 months, it'll be $735 or something. And immediately, Chris and I go,
Literally on the.
oh my gosh.
Literally like that,
It was
dude.
like, thank you, have a good day. I thought I
Yeah.
was going to get charged for talking to him.
We also.
Oh,
He also
like lawyers,
called, he
yeah.
called about like 8 stores
Yeah.
up, straight up. And he called this one guy. And you ever just get on a phone with like a stranger or just like you're talking to anybody in person and they just want to tell you their life story?
It turns into
Oh,
a,
no.
Oh, yeah?
He was on the phone
Uh-huh.
for like 5 minutes with this random
Uh-huh.
guy.
Yeah.
He was like, he goes, oh, sadly, we're actually out of business. And Jack was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry,
he kept
man.
saying, well, after 35 years. And I'm like, golly.
He wasn't even like Southern. He was like Ukrainian.
Yeah.
He was like a
Uh-oh.
Polish guy going at it. I was
It's
like,
gonna stuff a bomb in your deer.
yeah.
Careful with the Ukrainians. But that's good, man. See, I was very envious when I saw that because I want to start getting into hunting, but I don't think I have the balls for it. So good for you. Good for you.
Are you complimenting my balls?
That too. That too. Well, I mean, you're wearing tight jeans. It's not that hard to imagine
They're
there.
from Gap.
Are
You
they?
actually dressed up for this podcast.
Bro, Target's got decent jeans.
Yeah, they do.
Reasonably priced.
Really?
100%. Yep.
I want to take him shopping.
We need to.
He needs to look at what he's wearing right now.
Dude,
Look at what
I actually
look
really
at,
like that. I like
this
this
is
shirt.
okay.
This
No.
is fine. This
Stop
is
it.
fine.
Stop
it's
it.
everything else about him.
There
do
are
you mean?
there are deer in a snowy woodland scene on his shirt,
yeah,
Classy.
and you went out.
I went here. This
Okay,
is
that's
exactly
fair.
what I wore to work.
Actually,
Oh, that's
only-
a problem.
The only thing I'm
To be
I still
fair-
have my YMCA
to
shirt.
be
Oh,
fair,
gotta add
I
it.
think I wore the same. I wore the same outfit when Chris and I took the deer to the market, and so did Chris.
You did. You almost got shot.
Both of
Both
us
of
same
us wore the
exact
same
outfit.
thing.
Oh
funny
no!
as
See,
hell,
look at
dude.
him. He's got Patagonia on. He's got jeans.
I've been wearing this all day.
Okay, I was gonna say you really dressed up for this podcast.
I like to dress down
But I
because
like to think I dress nice.
yeah,
You
you
do.
do. You put yourself together.
I've actually started to try a little bit.
Good for you.
Lately.
Something happens when you hit like
Why?
21, 22.
I don't know, dude. I want a
I
girlfriend.
hey. Hey, if you want a
That
job
should be a
at
quote of this
my in my place next year, let me know.
What do you mean?
If you want a job where I work, let me know next year.
No, dude.
No, you
I don't want to like
never
develop
an
people to
intern-
make pavement. No.
Not even an internship.
No, your internships.
why not?
You complain so much about your job. You think I want your job?
Why?
No, you'd be an
wouldn't you?
intern.
He makes good money.
You'd be an intern. You
Well,
get a
He
car.
makes better money than you do.
You get a car.
It's not hard
and
to
free
make more
gas.
money than
That's
I do.
true. Honestly, kids
Okay.
in China make more than him right now.
Exactly.
Little Sally sucking dick
Oh,
on the street corner
wow.
does.
All
All
right.
right.
Why should it be little? That's
No. A Sally, little Sally. Okay. All right.
is that a straight name? Is that a straight name? So,
Insert foot into
speaking of dick, all right. So, we've talked avidly on this podcast about gym etiquette, right? About don't slam weights, locker room etiquette.
What's wrong with slamming weights?
Don't slam weights.
Do you
Just
still
don't
work
do.
out at LA Fitness?
I do all the time.
Little chime in, walking around, ass naked.
All the time, bro. All the time. It's not even like
where this
it's not. No. That's not even where it's going. But like, it's not even like a question of trying.
Blow
They just
drying their hair with a comb, ass naked, standing right in front of the
yeah,
mirror.
standing right. I saw a guy literally thought a beached whale had landed in the middle of the gym. He was about $5 bills easy. $5 bills easy with his pants at his thigh, just staring. Just looking around like, can I make it past my thighs?
At that point,
It's
you
what was
think
in
they
his
look
head.
Down, you're like, shit. I wonder if that thing still works.
Can I find it? Where do you, when you're that big, do you have to sit down to pee? When you're that big, do you have to sit down to pee? You have to, right?
You have to because
You can't,
You
like,
gotta find it.
that's a lot of pulling. That's a lot of weight. Because his gut, dude, literally, I didn't know where his waist was. That's how big this guy was.
You ever get to the level of fatness where you can't see your dick?
Are you talking to me?
No.
You fucker? You think I'm
no,
that
no,
fat?
no, dude. I'm just saying. Everybody gets fat. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Bro, I was super fat. That's why I'm saying.
I know.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
This is a fucking podcast.
No, dude. I don't know. You,
Lost weight.
You're on this weight loss
Yeah.
journey, so I know you had like your peak,
You weren't
and
eating
I'm
my
just
sausage.
wondering at your peak.
At any point of my weight gain, I could always see my genitals. Okay?
Okay.
Dear God.
All right, man. Well, there was a time and spot where I couldn't see little Christopher.
Really?
Yeah,
All
dude.
right. Well,
I had to like.
Yeah, I never got that far.
I had to always like.
you had to peek around.
I had to peek over.
That was instant for me when I had to peek over when I'm in the shower to see everything. I was
Okay,
like,
so
gotta
you
lose
have
weight.
been
Gotta
there.
lose weight.
Why you gotta freak out so much?
The way you looked at me made it sound like you thought I was 500
Because
pound
I know
whale.
he was a little chubby, but it wasn't crazy.
He's got the cheeks for it.
Yeah.
I have the cheeks of a chubby person. He has the
I
cheeks
do
of a
too.
chubby person. No, you don't.
Yeah, but my cheeks are cute.
Are you kidding
You
me?
look great, you son of a bitch. Don't even tell me you have the cheeks of a fat person.
I got cute ass cheeks.
He
I
does.
smile with my cheeks, bro. My cheeks cover my eyes.
Are
when
you
I smile.
Asian?
Yeah, dude.
I almost stabbed myself. Anyway, so speaking of Asian men, they're just walking around naked, right? And I am the type of person that can't do that shit. I will not change in a locker room. I will not get naked in a
You gotta
locker
have
room.
some confidence.
I would change in the showers with the curtain closed and then walk out if I ever used the shower, okay? For the first time, boys and girls listening, I got naked in the locker room.
How'd that feel?
Empowering.
It's a milestone.
Empowering.
That's
Let
the
me
type
tell
of
you right
thing
now.
You'll tell your kids about.
I will tell them.
Well, let me tell you about the first time I got naked.
Let me tell you about the first time your homeschooled father, who's never been in a PE class, got naked in front of strangers with confidence. It was
And
good,
you
man.
were you
Was
weren't
that-
like in a
was that
corner
confidence?
like hiding out, or you
no,
were
no,
just
no,
like
no.
you were ready
Hey,
for the conversation.
I
naked.
was ready for the conversation. I was ready to put one leg up on the bench and talk about sports.
I was ready to be that guy.
I was ready to be that guy. I was ready to be good old Kim, whatever
So
the
who
guy.
wants to talk about sports?
Yeah. This trade deficit's insane right now while I towel my balls off. That was me. I was that guy. for about 30 seconds, and then I
So, did you have a
suited
new
up.
gained confidence from this?
I want
Or
to do it
is this-
again.
You're gonna do it
I'm
again.
gonna do it again. And guess what Dom
Are
did
you gonna
today?
look forward to it?
No, that's weird. Guess what Dom did today?
you changed
Talked
naked.
about sports.
Fuck your mom. No, I threw a dip in at work.
Wow.
And you won't throw one with me in the podcast.
I won't, because after today, can't do it.
Was it pouches or was it?
It was chew.
Okay, so it was real stuff. So if you actually had a reaction, then I could.
Dude, I got sweaty, itchy, and a full flush fever.
Was
hit
it
my
Grizzly?
whole
Was
body.
it Cope? Was it?
Skull?
Oh my God, you're such a pansy.
Can't do it, man. Is there fiberglass in that shit for real?
No. What? No, there isn't, dude.
Yes, there is.
Because that's what cuts
Mine
your
is-
gums, bro.
That's what. Okay.
I was.
Hold on,
I
stop.
see. I believed there was fiberglass, and then I got talked out of it that there wasn't.
Who talked you
Who
out
talked you out of it?
Who talked
Aiden?
you out of it?
No, I
Tyler
Aiden?
Peterson?
No.
Oh, last name. Uh-oh.
Sorry.
No, it was Lucas. It was Lucas.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Dude, he was a
Who do you
dead
think
god.
told him? Who do you think told him? No,
Uh-oh.
okay. Literally, it goes. There's the chew,
The
the
tobacco.
tobacco in there, and there's the fiberglass. The fiberglass cuts up your gums so that the chew can go into
See,
your.
that's
so
what I thought.
So the chew and the nicotine can go into your bloodstream.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a fast experience.
You heard
Well,
it real quick.
Oh, I
Did you
was,
feel
I,
a
had-
burn?
I felt a burn. I was full blown fever. Full blown fever, nauseous, disgusting, felt gross. My coworker said he said wouldn't give me 10 minutes. I lasted 10 minutes, and I was like, and then
Did
like,
you throw up?
no, I locked it up. I did lay down in the middle of my bathroom though, and like stared at the ceiling. After a 30, 40 minute drive,
It
did.
for 30 hours.
It
What?
was that bad.
it was
dude?
that bad. It was that bad. When I did it with Stevie and Aiden, I puked in the front yard. I missed the Conor McGregor fight versus Eddie Alvarez, I think. I actually watched it illegally at my house, but yeah, it was bad. I ate a shit ton of pizza there and then threw up
Maybe
everything.
Red Man.
Maybe Red Man.
You're a pouches guy. You're a snus guy.
Probably.
I
I'm a
can see
vape
being
guy.
A snus guy.
I'm a vape
I
guy.
don't think he would even be able to do that, even if he has to take it out and lay on his bathroom floor for 40 minutes.
I did pouches with my buddy AJ. I did pouches with him.
And you were fine.
I was okay.
you were.
was
you were fine-ish.
I was fine-ish. I couldn't.
Okay is a long term.
Yeah.
I laid down in the fetal position on the couch and said, "Go home," because I'm not gonna do anything tonight. Like it was okay. I definitely couldn't do anything after doing that. Like if we were like hanging out, gonna go out later that night, I was like, "Let's throw a dip in." I would have a good night, guys. I'm gonna stay home. It was that bad.
That's
Are
interesting.
you gonna be my jewel pod guy for the bachelor party?
Am I gonna be?
Yeah. We also moved the bachelor party. We're gonna do it in January.
So I cleared the 23rd of November for nothing then?
But it's Thanksgiving weekend. Just you're fucking home anyway, you douche.
Whatever. So I have a funny story. Stop
You didn't
talking
answer my
about
question.
How much
You're
of
gonna
a-
be. You're
Yeah,
gonna be-
dude, I'll be your jewel guy.
Thank you.
Okay? I'll actually have marijuana in it. No. I won't do
Pop
that.
hot for that piss test
'cause
at
then
work.
Then you'll be crunk and that'll be bad. You'll be crossed. So
Don't get me crossed.
if we're going back to the shopping gig, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I took my dog to the local shopping center around here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And little did I know, I was just planning to like walk around there with her, but all the stores were like dog friendly, right?
Oh really?
And like American Eagle, Buckle, Lululemon, they have the hottest girls that work there, dude.
At Lululemon?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
yoga classes there.
At Lululemon, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I like walked in American Eagle, and that girl was like, "Oh my god, I'm your dog, and I'm got him."
What, American Eagle's pet friendly?
Yeah, dude, I literally was walking all over there. I walked all over Buckle, like in the store, and then I went to Lululemon. And this is where I made my mistake, right? So I was looking for like flannels and whatnot,
You're
right?
too broke to shop.
I know,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
My dog saved my ass, bro. Literally, my dog saved my ass, okay? So, while walking to Lululemon, there was about 3 hot chicks there, bro. So I'm like, okay, game plan. You're going to try on a flannel, right? And you're just going to, like, maybe work up some of your magic, right? So, they're like, I'll take care of your dog. That's fine. Just give me the leash. Give me the leash. I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
no.
And this, like, dude, she
Did they
was
steal your
such a
dog?
babe. She was, like, helping me. She was like, oh, what about this flannel? Right?
They have
like,
flannels at Lululemon?
yeah, they're not really flannels.
Okay.
Okay, this flannel was $125.
Yeah,
Came
that's
out to
cheap.
$137. Okay.
Did you buy this flannel?
Trust me. No. I was about to. I literally had my credit card in the
Oh,
thing.
you got honey dicked.
Okay. So
This
yes.
chick honey dicked you.
Oh yeah, 100,000%. And I'm okay. But so like I was trying on the flannels, everything. They were holding the dog. And they were like petting him. I'm like, oh my god, your dog's so cute. And like, but I felt bad because like Cleo was like running around like crazy. She went like into my stall like twice when I was like trying all the flannels on. And
Why'd you go inside of a dressing room to try a shirt on?
Take your shirt off.
take my shirt off.
You don't wanna.
I would just put it on over the first one.
No, I mean,
What, were you wearing that deer sweater when you went in there?
no.
Yeah, it probably was.
Were you?
But
Can I just tell my story? Without you
Proceed.
guys making fun of me?
proceed.
Okay, so
You
I
obviously
felt-
don't know this
I
show.
felt so bad that like when they were
Yeah.
like, taking care of Cleo, and she brought me like 4 flannels, right? Like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna buy it. I'm just
Yeah.
Just gonna buy it,
You
you
feel
know?
you feel guilty, don't you?
yeah, exactly.
Because now they've helped you.
yes.
Yeah.
So I was literally about to spend $125
On
on
a
a
shirt.
pretty shitty flannel, right?
Bass
My
Pro
credit
Shop's $10
card is in there.
Yeah.
Okay, in the chip reader, right? And then another dog comes in, and my dog's like going crazy, trying to like sniff it and whatnot. So I'm literally, it's literally pulling me away, right? And I'm trying to do the chip reader, and I'm like, all right. You know what? I'm just gonna go put her back in the car, and then I'll come back and buy it. So you're like, okay, I'll just put it right here for you.
Never came back.
And you did.
I never came back.
Cleo for the save.
She saved my
She
ass.
smelled
dude.
your bank account and went.
She saved
Chris!
my ass.
We don't do that.
Yeah, no! You know how many chew toys that is? Get out of here! Yeah, man.
That was funny as hell. But,
So you had to sign up for the Sweat Collective.
what do you mean, Sweat Collective?
Sweat Collective. You sign up on Lululemon's website, you get 10 to 20% off purchases.
20% off won't do crap.
Okay, but
I'll
20%
still
off
have
of
to take out a loan to buy a shirt.
True, but 20% off.
$130. Yeah, it's
That's significant, bro. It's I'd sign up for it. You work at
that's at
the
least-
you work there. You
that's
just
that's at least $12.
sign. You take a screenshot of your work schedule
Oh, yeah. I remember
and say where
telling
you
me
work. It still works for me. They don't fucking check that shit.
this. Dude, I looked at a t-shirt. The material was like made by God, I swear.
Yeah,
And it was $78 for like a t-shirt there. I'm like,
yeah. I don't.
this is why I shop at Kohl's.
You got to sign up for that because I got to use it because I don't remember the email I signed up for with that. So, ooh, Jack's popping a beer.
It's on beer too.
Post quick. I'm on whiskey number 4. I had straight tequila earlier this morning. Not morning, afternoon,
Okay.
Evening.
I was gonna say, I was like,
evening. It was evening.
I
What
mean,
kind of work
what's
day
what's
did you
morning?
have?
Hey,
Yeah,
my
pick
one
you
of
up.
one of our admins bought me a bottle of fifth of Jim Beam for my desk. That's where I work. I work at a place where we had to institute a 2-drink minimum at corporate events because people were getting D-Wees. So we had to stop that nonsense.
Yeah, I don't have that problem at my job.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I can imagine that you don't at all. You probably help people who've had a couple of D-Wees, you know?
Speaking about Jack's job, Jack will be IVing me in
Yes.
the next during this episode. I
Yeah,
don't know
during
when
this
it'll
episode.
happen, but it's definitely gonna happen.
It'll definitely
First,
happen.
before he IVs me, I want to hear the best work story that you got, Jack.
That was a good segue.
Thank you. That's what I fucking do here, bro. Okay, give me
And that's about it.
that's about it.
Alrighty, so
Touching my knee, bro. God.
Hey, if
Why didn't the guest ever share the mic with you? You invited him.
He's your friend. I brought him here for you. I love you. Don't take that the wrong way, but I brought him here for you,
I
buddy.
love you guys.
Let's just talk about how much we love each other,
No.
and then we'll go into a story. I gotta invite you to the bachelor party. I'm sorry, I gotta get you in there. Give me your email.
Okay.
You'll be there. You'll be there.
excited.
You two can carpool.
You're driving.
Last time Jack and I carpooled at a wedding, we ended up Ubering home.
That's fine. I fully.
Last time I Ubered home from Chris, I threw up in the Uber and got charged $150 the next day.
I heard about that night.
Tell that story.
I heard about that night in the street.
Dude, I'm passed out in the front seat. I hear something. I look back at Jack. He's got his puke in his hands. He goes, hey, Chris.
Literally, just go, all right, we're here. Get out of the car, just throw all the puke on the street. Have a good night. It smelled so bad in that Uber afterwards. I'm not surprised. I looked at I get a notification every time money comes out of my bank account.
Yeah.
I get a notification on my phone saying, you got charged by Uber, whatever, for $150. And I just look at it and I'm like,
I deserve that. Yeah.
Yo, but we
Saw that coming.
that was a dope night.
Yeah,
we
it
killed
was.
that night.
Or yourselves that night.
Jack is the one guy.
I don't
who go
know.
to any bar and we can just.
I don't know
Two
if we
boys.
I don't know if we killed that night or that night just was needed. Like it just felt good,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, we both of us were at least
So-
talking to girls.
No, so what happened was we got to this first bar and we were playing pool and we were having a good time, and then we went to this different bar and Chris was in the bathroom and I started talking to this girl and she had a friend, and
They always do.
yeah,
The
and
friend wasn't bad, dude. Usually the friend is like, that's like Jack.
So the
I'm the
friend, if
dude.
she smiled,
I'm like, friend,
the friend, if she smiled, you could throw an apple at her and
Yeah.
stick it to her teeth.
Yeah,
That kind of
exactly.
friend. That jagged ass. That jagged ass bitch.
So, anyways, so she had a friend, and we ended up spending the majority of the night
Yeah.
with these two girls, and it was pretty fun. It was a good time, and that was the last time we've been at Libertyville. And I puked on the Uber on the way home. Anyways,
Good time.
so job story.
Yes, sir.
Worst job story.
Well,
Well, just for a quick
which one are you gonna do?
thing.
I'll do weirdest and worst.
You are.
I'll go from weird. Yeah, I'll say what I am.
Okay.
I'll go
Don't
from
say
weird.
where.
I'll go from weird, and then we'll get sad.
Okay.
Is that all right with you guys?
I would actually go sad to weird.
You guys
just,
want to go sad?
just go lighten it up at the end.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, dive straight into it.
All right, that's fine. So
let me get serious.
who I am? Well, I'm first. I'm Jack.
Yes.
That's
Hi,
right.
Jack.
And I'm a EMT on a private ambulance company in is most,
Don't say the.
I'm not going to. Is most of your does your audience know where you guys are out of?
No, sure.
Yeah.
Midwest.
Chicago suburbs.
There you go. Perfect.
Suburb.
Yeah.
Such a lie.
Where
Yeah.
there's an LA Fitness. Wink, wink.
But
God,
I
I'm
actually
too
work in the city also. Like
Really?
Do ya?
yeah, like
That's-
North Shore, like
Oh.
from I would say like I go all the way up to Waukegan,
Ugh.
all the way down to like Northwestern and
Ugh.
I like Illinois Medical District, like,
Yeah,
in the city.
shit.
So we cover like all of that right there. But the 2 nights ago I was working. I work for a private ambulance company as an EMT, and as of right now I'm in paramedic school, and I was working a 24-hour shift as the driver of a critical care team on an ambulance, and the critical care team was made up a registered nurse and a critical care paramedic. And so the sad one was we got called to we do a lot of inter-facility transports, so a lot of hospital type of transports
Okay.
with very like unstable patients. And the unstable patient was
Mentally or physically unstable?
both. And the unstable patient, we got called to a hospital in a suburb with a young patient, 15-month-old.
15-month.
Yeah, so a little over a year old. Intubated. So he had a tube down his throat.
Ugh.
And we transported him with we have a machine that breathes for him.
Yep. Iron
So
lung.
a pump,
Yeah.
and then it's a ventilator, and then we set up pumps and the pumps pump in a certain dosage of medication into the IV bags and everything, and different other medication bags that are hanging for him, and you gotta get the picture. But the story behind why this patient was in the hospital was mom and dad are split. Mom went on a trip. The kid was left with a family member. The dad is not allowed to see the kid, and the family member let the kid spend a night with the dad,
Oh.
And dad threw a party, and kid got into some stuff, and mom came back the next morning, and the kid was seizing for like an hour straight. He couldn't do anything about it, and he stopped breathing.
Oh.
It was a huge mess. Yeah, it's not good.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Oh my
it
God.
was bad.
Do you know if he survived?
Patient? The way the nurses were talking about it looked pretty good for him, but it all like he was very unstable.
Ooh.
So it looked good for him, but it was also
So-
not the best.
Pills or
Don't know.
don't know.
Don't know. Nope.
Well, that guy definitely is never gonna see his kid again.
That guy's going to jail.
He's going to jail.
Mhm.
That's messed up, dude.
And then
I
you
know.
wonder why you can't see your kid. Because when the moment comes where you can, you do this.
Yeah.
What a fucking idiot. Where was that
The one
out
night,
of?
the one night he decides to throw a party.
I don't know.
He was happy about it.
A 15-month-old, like
I don't know. I don't know if it was like a big party or if it was just some friends over and the dad already had the items of the whatever this patient
Right.
ingested that made him so unstable.
So- Before you go on to your lighthearted story, I have a kind of moderate, lighthearted, sad story about something
Okay.
close to
Just get
this.
sad, bro.
Let's get sad. Okay, so my dad never loved me. This is okay. So, actually, I think he may have loved me a little too much. But that's a different topic. So, so
that's a podcast that we're gonna have with Father.
yeah. No, I don't want him to know. He'll probably get interested. Priest molest. It's a thing. If you know anyone, that's yeah.
Church hits differently, man, when you're going to hell.
Exactly. Right? It's like,
Why do you think I don't go?
so, knock it off. No more priest molestation jokes. I know I did. And I feel bad about it already. Do you know about the nonsense that's happening next door from me? Okay, right. Okay, so let's just. Who
know.
did?
Your sister?
She. Oh, fuck that bitch. So.
Listen to these.
Yeah, no. Fuck you. So let's just paint a picture for Jack. So I've lived here 25 years. Okay, and as long
this
as I
house, dude?
yes, so as long as I can remember,
I lived at my house my whole life.
exact. This is it. This
I
is
keep on forgetting you're like.
this is Mecca, bro.
Oh, dude.
Fuck yourself, dear sweater. So for probably I would say the last 15 years, her husband left her, my neighbor, and for about that time, her son lived with her. And I would say every other week, the cops were called. So we'd have SWAT, we'd have sheriff, Lake Zurich community, all that shit here, knocking on the door, checking on people, taking people to jail. The son usually, because he didn't own the house. So domestic violence, the person who doesn't own the house usually leaves.
Mom's just like, yeah, come right in.
Exactly.
I'm the owner of the house.
I mean, I've watched them throw beer bottles at each other, yell at each other all night. You're a bitch. You're a witch. You're a loser. Blah, blah, blah. The guy's like 50 and still lives at home with his mom.
Calls his mom a loser?
No, vice versa. He's got a couple DWIs, so he doesn't have a driver's license. So literally,
Okay,
he
does
can't.
DUIs mean
DUI.
DUI?
DUI.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. Jesus, you want to be a cop? Watch Live PD more. So you know what I'm saying. So one Christmas, the cops were over there. Literally Christmas morning, we're all opening our presents. Oh my God, Jesus is born, and then someone's getting taken out in cuffs. That's what I heard in the background when this was happening. So they're big boozers, right? I mean, I think every day she goes to 7-Eleven or the local Walgreens up the road here, gets a case of Miller, drinks it, and then goes back. So steady people here. Don't look at me like that. I don't do that.
It really do be like that.
I stay
You'll
home.
be like that.
So it's a long story, but my mom actually bitched her out once because she's like, "You're drinking. All you do is drink. Your son's a boozer. Like, you gotta get your life together. You know, you're 70 years old, whatever, whatever." She's like, "I only have 7 beers a day," is what she said as her only. She only has 7 beers a day.
Well, when does she start?
That's a good question. To be fair,
That is a good question.
if you start in the
I
morning,
could
and
have
then you
7 beers a day easily
same
on not work days.
on not work days. I do it during actual work hours.
And you want me to be coming in, Karen?
Do it. So what was the other thing? Oh, they also had dogs, and they'd have dogs. They'd break out all the time, and then after a while, we knew there were dogs living there, but we wouldn't see any. So that means the dogs aren't going out. So where are they going to the bathroom? Painting a picture. So the other day, my mom texted me saying she passed away. My mom goes, she died in her courtyard, face down, with a beer in her hand. And I,
Oh, I feel so bad.
being a bad person,
I left.
I burst out laughing. I'm like,
What? Was it her? If
that was the one. That was the one. You're right.
That one day.
But dude, she passed away with a beer in her hand, and apparently the sheriff department showed up, and my dad was talking to him. Showed up, and the coroner showed up, and the guy goes, "I've never seen anything like this. We told him, the son, you have a month to clean this house, or we're having the state condemn it." I guess there's just dog shit everywhere.
Wow.
Cat shit everywhere. Bird shit. Mouse shit. Rat shit everywhere.
Wow.
To the extent where the police were like, we're not going in there.
Wow.
Like, we're just not.
Yeah.
You're going to get diseases just walking into that house.
Yeah.
Apparently, she had a dog living there, and we haven't seen a dog in the yard. So that means dogs just shitting in the house.
Wow.
Animal control, the guy said he'll take care of the dog, but animal control was called and was like, where are you going to take care of this dog? Because it's not even habitable for a dog
Yeah.
to live here. It's one of the saddest, funniest stories I've ever heard in my life.
I got a good segue for you.
Second.
All right. So,
As we're gonna
are you
call
done
it
with, are you done
Saget.
with your story?
Yes.
Yeah. This is gonna add on to your story. So, my job working for. Sorry, I'm touching your knee. So back off.
Hey,
It's
Chris,
my
I mean,
mic.
my
This
dad's,
really needs to stop.
my dad's not busy if you want to hang out with him.
So, anyways.
They would come.
So here's a segue for you folks. So in my job for the private ambulance company that I work for, we have a contract for the county that we live in.
Yeah.
Their corner officer.
I'm listening.
Yeah. So we basically pick up dead people.
Oh, God.
So you being in the same county that I work for, my company probably came there and picked her up.
No!
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. How about that segue?
Oh, my God, that's amazing. Dude,
Right?
I
And the
felt
corner
bad.
officer is super cool. Super cool guy.
They gotta be interesting people.
Yeah, they're
let me tell you.
awesome. Oh my gosh, one of the officers is so attractive.
Was she on Live PD, the sheriff department? This chick's fine.
They
she has-
oh my gosh.
She has
she's-
pink cuffs. I'm
she's
into her.
She's so unbelievably attractive. Like glasses, long brown hair. And one time, I was at a body removal, and this cop was trying to flirt with her, saying like, "Oh, let me get your number. We can go out to like have a drink sometime." And she goes, "Yeah, here's my business card."
Ooh.
Oh, just a savage.
Ooh, she don't answer that line.
You
Oh.
don't answer that.
Oh, you're getting voicemail, bitch.
All right,
Oh.
so segue to the next, to my next story of my line of work. As we do the body removals and the pickup, I'm gonna go to my grossest story. Actually, it's like gross. Like I've had gross ones.
It's
Like
like mentally gross.
it's like mentally gross. It's like I've had people like shotgun to the head, like that type of stuff.
Kurt Cobain it?
Yeah, you know.
Wow.
No, yeah,
Rest in peace.
yeah.
No, don't.
I don't know about that.
Don't rest in peace. Don't. Good songs. Don't
So
rest in
the
peace.
weird one goes a little bit like this. So we get called to a fairly nice neighborhood,
Oh.
and
Very nice neighborhood. What he just mouthed to me, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen.
yeah, a pretty nice neighborhood. Did
Great.
you- did you
I
see
got
that?
engaged there.
Yeah,
I got engaged there.
yeah, sleep tight. So this is how it goes. This is how it goes. So we get called to there and yada 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 whatever, and basically this is how the man died. He died on the toilet, and
Where I want to go.
died on the toilet, and to the right of you you have an exterior wall. to the left of you, you have your toilet, and he died in between. He died on the toilet, fell in between the exterior wall and then the toilet. His head going backwards, and then his head fell into the wall, breaking the drywall. And from his chin to his top of his head was inside the wall, ass naked. This guy was about like 6'5",
Ooh, big
275 pounds,
kept it together.
thick.
Kept it together.
Yeah, and so then
How old? Guesstimation. Throw a dart at the board. Mid 20s.
No. Older. Older than 50, younger than 60.
Okay, so he's playing the ballpark.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Coronary? Like what the fuck?
Yeah. So what happened was, his the master bedroom was right here. This isn't for the listeners. They can't see my hand gestures right now. This is more for Dom. But the master bedroom was right here. His bathroom goes in like this, and then it's one of those like blocked glass walls you see at the dentist office, like right there. And then it cuts in like this, goes in like that, goes in like that, and then you got the toilet.
Yeah.
So we had to drag him out from the wall and then around and then into the master bedroom. Then we can get him into the body bag. Then we can roll him onto the backboard to then get him around all the tight
Trapeze,
corners
yeah.
of the hallways to get him onto the stretcher to get him to the town where the corner officer is at. Here's the loop here, folks. We have this man. Oh, it's sad. Okay, the man had he had 2 daughters less than the age of 10.
Oh. Wow.
The oldest one was between the ages of 7 and I would say 10, 7 and 10. And that oldest daughter, it was her birthday that day.
I didn't know that, dude.
Yeah, that was the weird part. Not weird, but it was kind of sad. But then the younger one was between the ages of 4 and 7. And the coroner officer, the very attractive one, told me this, that the mom told the coroner officer that the youngest daughter left a note on the dresser of the main bedroom, and then when the mom woke up, she read the note, and the note goes, "Don't go in the bathroom, Dad's dead," and then left and went to school.
That girl's a G. Or she killed him.
Talking about a serial killer on the rise.
Yeah,
here.
that's the next Hitler, bro. Let's get.
Dad's dead. I'm going to school.
Dad's
Don't
dead.
go in
P.S.
the bathroom.
Dad's dead.
P.S. What's for dinner?
P.S. We're out of Doritos. Oh my god.
Oh, that's so messed up, dude.
Shit,
Yeah.
dude.
That's like a story where you're like,
I know, and that's what I was so bad about this one is like, the moment I found out she died, I laughed. I was like, well, it's bound to happen. Like, I'm surprised it took this long. And then I texted my brother and I go, you think Miller Lite's stock is gonna tank?
oh my.
And he just couldn't contain himself. He was just dead. He was just,
Drinking Miller Lights right now.
bruh. See, you're keeping him alive. Spot, dude.
Not 8 of them.
Not 8 of them. I think that's the last 2. So you're out the door, bro. Oh my god, that's sad, dude. I couldn't keep up with that kind
I
of.
know.
I couldn't keep up with that kind of line of work.
Dude, I mean,
Almost got hit by a car Wednesday.
Oh, listen to this. So in Fox.
I thought you were mocking me in
Oh,
my
no,
story.
not
but you
at all.
got-
Not at all. This was today.
I
This
was
was
like,
today.
I'll hit the stop button on this bitch right now.
No. This was today. I was driving through this one town, and this 2 lanes on each side, driving down. This lady just comes walking past, like on the opposite 2 lanes was clear lanes, but I was driving the speed limit, and the lady starts walking like right in front of me, and I'm gonna hit her.
Yeah.
Like, she's not stopping, and she literally puts one hand out and puts it right in front of me and keeps walking. And I'm literally, like, I've never slammed on my brakes so hard that I heard them screech.
Oh, but
and
you
like
heard
heard them, and
screech.
I was like,
And just
And I'm
dust.
honking my horn, and she's giving me the finger as she's walking.
Were
right
you
past
in
me.
like your ambulance or were
by
you?
my truck?
Oh, what a dumb bitch.
Right?
She would have.
Just walking right past her, and she was like giving me
Died.
the finger, like, "Who do you think you are?"
Dude, I don't get people.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying. This lady at this Lowe's I was working on, I have a high visibility jacket on. Okay, I have a high visibility jacket.
Would you call it a high vis?
I would call it a high vis. I would call it a high vis, sir. And I have a barricade to the left of me and a barricade to the right of me. Thank God I'm not drunk enough. I knew which one's which. And I'm standing in between them, and I see her come at me, and I'm doing this, waving her to the right because that's the only the left is blocked off because literally half the drive lane's new. We just paved it. She's coming straight at me. And I'm going, no. And my cousin's like, what are you doing? Like, he's waving her the other way. And she goes, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of my way. How the fuck am I supposed... Just going off on us. And I'm like, ma'am, what? Why are you coming? She's like, there should be a barricade. I'm like, I'm standing here, waving you this way. You almost hit me. And she's like, well, move your fucking white ass before I hit it. I'm like, you're white! I'm like, what are we doing? I'm like, I'm about to... And she's just like... And she popped a U-wing, just flicked us off the entire way down. She stuck it out the window and was committed to that flick off. And then didn't even go to Lowe's. She just went home. I'm like...
She probably went to Home Depot.
You should! You should! It's right down the street.
There's some people that just think it's their world, and we're just here, man.
I like
We're
the
just-
people
we're
that
just living
I'm
it.
working at a bank that's closed and they want to pull into the parking lot to go to the ATM. I was like, sir, there's another ATM.
There's no parking lot.
I was like, there's really no parking lot, sir. I was like, go to the other ATM. He's like, well, where is it? I'm like, just type in BMO Harris ATM. Do it for me. I'm like,
This is your fault.
I was like, there. And he's like, so I gotta take a lift out here? I'm like, oh, Jesus. I was like, I can't do this, sir. I can't stay here and hold your hand, man. That's the shit. This one lady, I was removing barricades of the new asphalt we just paved, and she's following me as I'm removing each barricade so she can follow behind me to drive out. You just can't bang a left and go out the other way? Nope. No. Follows me as I take 10 minutes, because it's a far walk, to take down each and every barricade.
And those barricades, they're light, or they're not.
They're not heavy,
Okay.
but they're uncomfortable
yeah.
to walk with. You put 4, you get 2 on each side and you walk. That's what you have to look forward to.
The ones with the little lights on them, right?
Yeah, that's what you have to look forward to
I'm thinking
next year.
the big tube ones. And I'm like, how the hell are you going?
No. You'll figure out next year when you...
No, dude.
You want a nice truck?
Traffic bitch.
That literally, I had 4 people out there with me, and it was not enough. I needed at least 2 more. Just that people don't give a fuck, and I was in a rich area where it's all highfalutin.
Well, that's probably what it is.
And the manager's giving me lip. One of the managers is giving me lip, and then the assistant store manager goes, I just want to apologize. I understand. I'm like, yeah. I was like, there's no way to slice it, bro. I told him, I was like, there's no way to slice this parking lot to make it work for you. It's like, I either take away your front entrance or I take away the drive-through that takes Burger King, AT&T, fucking all these other places
They'll
out.
sue you for that.
What do you mean?
If you render their business in that way,
Yeah.
they'll sue you for that.
Disrupt their business.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. It's I fucking don't understand people that can't Google Burger King and go to the one. I literally Googled Burger King from where I'm at. There's one that was 0.2 miles, which is the one I'm standing in front of. And then there's one 4 miles down the road. Go to that one. No, can't do that. Can't do that. Too far. I want this one.
That Impossible Whopper is not going to eat itself.
Old people love Burger King. Found that out. There was a lady in the passenger seat.
They get free coffee.
There's a lady in the passenger seat that should have been dead. She should have been in the morgue. She shouldn't have been in the passenger seat of a car going to Burger King. She looked like literally no eyes, mouth open, dead. It's like you're collecting her Social Security. She's dead.
What do you think of the Impossible Whopper?
Haven't had it yet.
The vegan Whopper.
Haven't had it yet.
I wouldn't call it a vegan Whopper. It's just.
It's vegan.
Yeah, it's vegan, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
I want to try it. Can't have it though.
Did you know? Yeah, do you listen to Joe Rogan's new podcast that just came out with Cameron Haynes?
No,
Yes.
not.
Yeah, you gotta listen to it. He said on the podcast that about 87% of vegans
Don't have
don't
enough nutrition.
stay vegans and go into eating meat again due to health
Yeah,
issues.
it's extremely unhealthy.
Because it's unhealthy to be a vegetarian or to be a vegan.
No, it's not unhealthy to be a vegetarian. It's unhealthy to be a vegan.
What's the difference
You-
between vegetarian and vegan?
Vegan's raw. Like you don't cook, you don't eat
just
anything.
eat
don't
straight
eat,
fucking
you don't
plants.
eat processed
Yep.
meals. So you can eat. You don't eat. Can you eat eggs?
Nope.
Yeah, because it's processed. Unless it's straight from a chicken. No. Oh, it's strictly plant based.
Animal byproduct. You're
Animal
not allowed.
byproducts. Yeah, it's strictly like non-animal byproducts straight from.
So not even eggs.
No, yeah.
We just said that. Yep. Not even the little eggs they put on your sushi. You know, little cow.
Is that why you didn't post the new deer on Instagram? Because for not all the vegan hate.
No,
I
not
probably
really.
get-
I didn't post it because I'm not a big fan of the grip and grins,
Okay, that's fair.
and plus I don't want to grip and grins.
No. Okay.
Gripping the antlers and grinning.
Why could you
grip
just?
and
You know, you should take a picture of it, and just had it like when it's
What I will
hung,
take a picture
and
of.
just take a picture of
What I
that.
will take a picture of is the delicious steak that I'm gonna make tomorrow night. Of
Ooh.
it. that
How you
I'm
gonna cook
put in
that?
My belly.
How you gonna cook that?
I'm gonna cook it rare, and then I'm gonna sear it in a big old pan of butter.
Did you ever have
Yeah.
Yeah.
any conversations with any angry vegans anytime?
No. I've never had any Actually, yes, I have. I was in camo clothing at a gas station one time, and a lady asked me what I was doing or blah blah blah, and you could tell like I was wearing camo boots. I was wearing like.
Fucking people's nerve.
Yeah, and she asked me. She was like, and she goes, "What?" And like we were pumping gas, and she was looking at me, and being the nice person I am, I go, "Hi, ma'am, how are you doing? Hope you're having a nice day." And then she goes, "And why are you wearing that?" And I'm like, "Well, I just came back from hunting, and I do this, and blah blah blah." And I was like, it was cold out, and I was tired. I'd been up early. I was sitting in the woods all day, and I just wasn't really in the mood for it, you know? And what happened was she just wasn't really a fan of it. And she just said that what I'm doing is wrong, blah, 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 whatever. And then finally I explained to her how, I told her, I go, can you tell me where your food comes from? And she goes, the grocery store.
Oh,
And I
good.
go, oh, nice. Can you tell me where it comes from after that? And she wasn't really happy with that response, you know.
That's what I was gonna ask. Was like, what's the main points you would say
Right.
to anybody
So,
that's against conversation?
You're okay. No, you're hunting. Conservation. It's
Conservation,
just
that's
keeping. So they're okay with like cattle being kept in like a fucking small cage, not able to actually roam a plain, not actually able to like live on their own.
Well,
You're okay with that.
In the podcast with Joe Rogan, they said that the least amount of protein or enzymes or nutrients is
Factory farming. Yeah.
grain-fed meals, which
Yeah.
is mostly what comes from your grocery
Right,
stores.
exactly.
The more expensive ones are those free-range grass, and then after that becomes
Hunting. Yeah.
And then Aldi you'll have your double caged eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
For the carton of eggs for 70 cents.
Your egg,
Yeah.
your
I'll eat
egg,
it.
your egg after it's hatched is caged.
Just in case it hatches, and we're fucking watching. Yeah, no, that's the funniest thing to me, especially all those people that are vegan and they're all about that plant-based lifestyle. Well, your combines that harvest that grain and that vegetables
It's
and all that
doing
shit,
more harm for the environment than good.
it's just murking rabbits, mice, and all that
Yeah.
shit that are
Didn't Ted
just
Nugent have a huge
yeah.
part in that?
yeah, exactly, and that's what's happening. You're killing a bunch of animals in that harvest
Exactly.
process, and on top of that, it's really, really hard to sustain that type of growth for that type of agriculture for vegan lifestyle.
Exactly, and the problem with hunters nowadays, and like with like corresponding with vegans or any of that kind of stuff, is like no one's educated on the topic. They think of a hunter as, you know,
Trophy hunters.
not only trophy hunters, but like Bobby and Ricky
Right.
in their trucks down in Alabama,
Right.
going down and shooting a big buck and bringing it home to their family.
Which is still okay.
Which is still okay because it's feeding their family. And
Right.
it's a very nutritional meal for them, you know?
Right.
But what's also a lot of people don't know is that there's semi-educated people that are passionate on the topic, like myself, that like are actually knowledgeable of what they're doing. When it comes down to it, you're taking another life.
Right.
And I'm not going to say that I like doing that. I don't like. Do I like taking another life of deer? No, I don't. But I can assure you that I have more of a passion about deer and the whole aspect of deer, and not only the aspect of deer, but the knowledge of deer than either of you ever will.
Yeah.
Mostly because I've been out there and I've been hunting and I've been taking that life, and because I'm passionate about it and because I care about them.
Right.
I care about them from the point of a conservation standpoint, care about them at a point of their health
Yep.
due to a disease that they have called chronic wasting disease, and everything else besides that, you know?
What's the process of the chronic wasting disease?
So a chronic wasting disease actually, see, there you go.
That's what you. That's what you
No,
bring.
see,
That's
here's
what you
the
bring.
thing. No, because
I'm
here's the
sorry.
thing.
That's what you bring.
No, exactly. If you go interview Joe Blow from Wisconsin, well, yeah, they'll probably know about Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
They'll probably know about it in Wisconsin because it's pretty bad in Wisconsin. But chronic wasting disease, or CWD, is a transmissible disease that is passed down from everything in the deer family. So deer, elk, caribou, and moose. And it was originally brought up in the West due to your free-range cattle.
Why is that?
It was some sort of like pesticide or some sort of chemical that actually farmers were using for, I don't know if it was farmers using, don't fact check me on this, but anyways, it was from free range cattle, and then they started giving it to elk, and then you started getting Midwesterners like people from our area going out west and hunting elk and bringing full-bodied elk back to the States and quartering it and doing their own butchering here.
Oh.
And then they discard all of the products that they got from butchering it and put it in their back 40 for the deer to eat. Or for their deer, or for their gut pile. And so then it started becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And what it is that it
So-
slowly starts to, it's tested in a gland inside your brain, not inside your brain, but near your brain, inside the head. And what it is that a deer or anything of the deer family can hold the CWD within the matter of, I believe it's like 2 years. But once it's like an enzyme protein starts to activate inside the body of the deer or anything of the deer family, that deer can die within 2 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
But doesn't
so
that enzyme have the choice of killing that deer? Like, isn't it like...
it can. In most cases, it can. In most cases, it does end up killing a deer. But in some rare cases, it stays and the deer is able to fight it off. But not a lot of people see that nowadays, and it's becoming more and more and more of a topic of choice. Like the deer that I got was from an area of heavy CWD. We got it tested. We got it sent down to
And
the
that's
state
part
of
of
Illinois.
the meat process.
That's part
of
the meat process.
Of
Like,
what
we
the
sent-
actual where we went there.
Yeah.
So we went there, and Chris saw it too. We went there. She asked me what county I shot it in. I said DeKalb County, and she goes, "Okay," points me on the map. And we went back to the other room. There's a map of every single county in the state of Illinois, and Wisconsin. And she goes, "Okay, point me in which one." And I go, "Okay, right there." And that was on her list of things that she needed to get sent out for tested for CWD, which like areas that's prevalent for CWD. And she sent it out, and I went on a website and checked it, and it said it was negative. So, but also here's the thing though: there's not one case of CWD in any human beings.
Really?
Yeah. And now it's not shown or anything like that, and people have CWD, and people have eaten deer, plenty of deer from CWD, and it's not shown in any cases of that sort. And like now it goes.
So, sorry. So if that deer tested positive, you just lose the deer?
Me personally, I'd still eat it. If I was living by myself, I would still eat it. But I'm living with my parents. they're not okay with that.
Yeah.
I donate it. So you don't know this, but in John's Meat Market in Elgin and most meat markets that you take your deer to process, if they have some CWD, which you don't officially know that yet, or you can't afford to process the deer, or you don't want to do it yourself, or you have enough deer meat and the family and friends around you have enough deer meat, because like in the state of Illinois, I am allowed 2 buck tags and unlimited amount of does. I can plow down 150 does if I wanted to this season. I wouldn't, because that's unconservational.
Why
the
are
word.
does
But
fair game?
I don't know.
Word now.
I don't know, but it's just the part. It's just the part of their statistics from the state of Illinois that says that we have enough of them that you can have unlimited tags on them.
So that's not that many hunters here. then,
Exactly.
huh?
It's. I mean, you need both to produce
Right.
the next set of deer, but
We all
also
took sex ed.
they
Yep.
also do a program in most states called Hunters for the Hungry, I believe it's called, and you can donate your deer.
Nice.
At
Yeah.
John's Meat Market, I
So-
go there and I pay. I think it's like 20
Do you just
bucks
have to,
or
like-
$50, and then that's it.
Do you have to cook like the shit out of it? You just gotta cook the shit out of it so it doesn't.
They don't do anything.
Oh.
They just
The-
cook
There's
like they
no
normally would.
there's no human interaction with CWD, so they don't really treat it that way.
Right.
People eat it, which is fine. They basically just take the whole. They basically just take all of the meat from the whole entire deer and just grind it all, and then send it away to a soup kitchen, and then they use it for chili or sloppy joes or easily cooked ground venison. And then those homeless people that are coming to that shelter get lean protein.
And the ground venison that you gave me, dude, was honestly one of the best tasting ground
Really?
anything I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
the flavor that came out of that with the leanness. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know how I usually cook like say a pound of ground beef. Let's say it's 93.7. You're still gonna have some liquid, you know,
Yeah.
from the fat and all that when
You
it's
get
cooked
none of
through.
it. You get
none
no
whatsoever, and
liquid.
it out flavored even 85-15 beef.
Excuse
And
me.
also from like that standpoint of like a health standpoint, that the deer have there's in the human body there's good cholesterol that you can
Right.
have, and then there's bad cholesterol that you can have. Like that fat juicy burger that you get down the street from Culver's, it probably has some bad cholesterol in it. And that's what
Guarantee
you
ya.
get. And that's when you get like the whole like all of the United States is like struggling from like heart defects and heart
disease.
diseases and everything. That's what everyone
Eat
dying from.
Cheerios.
Yeah, eat your damn Cheerios, okay?
Fucking A, man. Put the
And-
butter down and get some goddamn ghee.
Unless you're trying to
But-
pull.
Oh, Jesus. I finished my steak tonight with some ghee butter.
Ooh, dude, ghee butter is so
Fucking-
underrated, man.
All right. Back
Hey,
to topic,
bro.
back to topic. But
Okay, it
the
was so
venison-
good.
The venison has your healthy cholesterol that you have. Like I made a stew, and it gives you almost like a gritty aftertaste because that's that fat, and that you get that fat from that healthy cholesterol. And I don't know the statistics behind the venison, but with like elk, is about twice. Like with health wise, it's twice the times better like lean protein than it is from regular ground beef that you can get from the store.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, I believe
It's
it.
unbelievable. And also, and when we're on the point of just kind of like education of like hunters and everything, what a lot of people don't realize is that say I go to the store and I go to Cabela's or Bass Pro or Academy or your local hardware store, and I'm buying camo or anything. If I'm buying anything hunting related, I get taxed on that. I get a special tax on that as opposed to anyone else that's going to get taxed. But my tax, a portion of my tax goes into a fund in the federal government, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact terms, don't quote me, but like it goes into a fund of the federal government that tax, and also not only that, but the license that I pay for every single year, the fishing license, the hunting license, trapping, all those licenses and permits that I pay for every single year,
Yep.
go towards conservation.
Yep, 100%.
100%. Like not like
60-40, no,
not
it's
60-40,
100%.
not it's 100% of the funds that I pay, the money that I put into that license goes into
DNR.
Now, also, here's the thing: the DNR, Department of Natural Resources. Now, here's the thing: the tag that I paid for, like my hunting license and my permit costs about $50. An out-of-state Illinois buck tag costs $425. An out-of-state Colorado elk tag costs about $650. And there's a lot of people from Midwest or from other states that want their dream elk hunt that are going there or to other states that are getting that.
Yep.
And that is all going back towards conservation.
Exactly.
That all goes towards the little fund that you have. And now that fund gets branched off into different branches like Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, Bighorn Sheep Foundation, the Goat Alliance Foundation, different types of conservation groups to research for CWD, everything conservation based. And those groups have a certain deadline to meet to spend that money. If it's not spent, or if that main fund that was originally branched off, if they don't send out all the money and it just sits there for more than 365 days, a year, that money immediately goes to, on that day, on that mark, that money immediately goes towards the funding towards the research of migratory birds. And it ends there. And it's a full cycle.
Right, exactly. That's the thing. It's like people that fucking
where do you find a more organized group of thing like that? And I guarantee you that Joe Schmo down in Alabama that's hunting bucks for the big antlers or the trophy hunter doesn't know jack shit about that.
Right.
You know what?
Yeah,
maybe they might. They might.
Because they have a passion.
If they're passionate enough about it, maybe they might. But it's the stigma and the bad rep that hunters get about that, and they're just not educated on the topic.
Right.
And what you need to, like, if you're gonna be, and it goes back to, like, I'm not proud of taking a life. I'm not proud of that. What I am proud of is that my freezer and my big box freezer is jacked full to the rim, full of lean protein that I can say that I know exactly where it came from. I have a story behind it, and it's going to be feeding my family, and it's going to be good for my family. And also, it's going to be feeding my friends, too. Like, I'm giving, like, it's October 15th. Season ends January 15th. You think I'm done hunting? Hell no.
Right.
If I get a doe, if I get another buck, it's the whole thing's probably going to be either going to Chris, you, Aaron, Aiden, any of these guys.
Right.
So, like, and that
100%.
makes, I get more of a joy than feeding my own family as much as I do than bringing in the venison sausages that I brought in and having it fed to you guys, or if I feed my family,
Right.
anything of that sort.
It's unbelievable the bad rap that they get. Go ahead, Chris.
Would you say there is a difference between, like, I know you're talking about Joe Smo in Alabama. I think when you bring him up, you know, and those hunters up, I believe that you're passionate about conservation and they're passionate about hunting. Would you kind of agree to that? Or do you think
like
there's a big difference
I
with
believe
that?
like I would like to think that they eat the meat. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You know,
but
I'd
that's the
like
thing.
to
Some
think
of
that
those
they
people
eat the meat.
have to.
But you know what? In some states, it's illegal to leave
That's
the
so.
meat.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's right.
It's
it
illegal.
Should be.
It's illegal to leave. Like, there's a lot of meat that gets left out. Like the heart, you can eat. The liver, you can eat. The neck meat that you can eat that a lot of people don't eat. And a lot of people say that deer tastes gamey, you know, or it tastes gross, you know. But you know what? Are you eating deer on a daily basis?
Yeah.
No, like I mean, I am, but like regular Joe Schmo off the street isn't eating deer on a daily basis, so
Right.
they're gonna say it doesn't taste right because they're not eating it. They're not.
Right.
They're
You're
not
eating corn-fed cattle.
You're eating corn-fed meals.
Never seen the light of day.
Okay, let me tell you, people. When you eat a cob full of corn and about 3 to 5 days later, you sitting on the toilet, what do you see?
Exactly.
Corn is not digested inside your body.
Yeah.
It's just flushed right through.
Yeah.
Like you see the exact corn. Like
Right.
that's not healthy.
It's kind of corny.
God. That was the last time you heard Chris on this podcast. Oh, you're fired! Holy shit!
Literally.
Oh my God.
Exactly. I think it's just. I think that
it's unbelievable.
I guarantee, like this Joe Schmo in Alabama, that they're using it to feed their family.
Now we're not targeting Alabama as an uneducated
It's just a good
state.
place.
It's a
to
good
go
place,
dark,
okay?
you know.
But there's a lot of like
People in Alaska,
Wisconsin.
literally, that's the only option they have.
Exactly.
People that live up in the, way up in the Antarctic, they literally have to hunt to live, even if
biggest
it's
thing-
polar bear.
The biggest thing, like veganism, being a vegetarian, all that kind of stuff. Hunting,
Right.
the aspect of not hunting is a new thing.
Yeah. It is.
If you think of life and how long we've been here
Right.
on Earth as a grand scheme of thing, the aspect of hunting is a fairly new thing, and
Yeah.
it's very abnormal.
It is. Yeah.
Do you think it's because food is just way too easy to
Yeah,
eat
it
now?
is.
It is.
I mean, that's a fine. That's
A lot
fine.
of people say that we don't have to hunt anymore because we have grocery stores. But you know what? Like that's it.
Right.
You're naive to think that if hunting is a bad if hunting is
Right.
a bad thing, you're completely naive.
To think
Like,
that it's inhumane is ballistically insane to me.
there's complete if it's unhumane. Okay, if you're saying that hunting is unhumane and you've eaten veal,
Yeah, you're a bad person.
you're a bad person. There are farms that take
Baby cows
baby cows
And
and stick them into dark rooms
with stirrups, so they
with
don't ever touch the
stirrups,
ground.
so they don't ever touch the ground, so that their meat is more tender,
Yep.
and so they don't even see the light.
Yep, veal. They strap up baby cows so they
You
their
know
feet never
veal is
touch the ground.
Or baby cows,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so the meat is more tender. There are ways that are so unbelievably unhumane
Hey.
that can make that meat more
Hey,
tender.
it's delicious.
It is absolutely
There's,
delicious.
hey, there's
I
nothing.
can guarantee you, it's so good.
There's nothing
I've never
like
tried
some
veal
veal parmesan.
I've never shot
Whoa.
a younger deer before.
Oh, right.
Like a button buck, which is about a 1.5-year-old
Hey.
deer with little tiny nubs on the top
Little-
or anything like that.
little-
But I've always tried to shoot like the most mature animal because
Yeah.
it's had its life. It was able to
Right.
go. Yeah, you know.
Just saying, a
but-
little light breaded veal with a little marinara and some parmesan melted on top with a little angel hair
I don't
next
think
to
I've
her.
ever had veal.
Her buddy.
Okay.
It's good.
Her buddy. Don't go to Bellagio. Don't go to Biaggi's and get it. Go to like an actual Italian restaurant.
That's super messed up that they'll do that.
It is. It's entirely messed up, and you feel a little guilty while you eat it. Yes, but it's so good you forget about it. I'm not even kidding. So it's like, oh my god, this is a baby cow. Oh Jesus. Oh my god. And you just forget all about it. Yeah, I think it's really messed up that they give a weird stigma to people that, like you said, there's a story behind it. You went out, and like there's a story about Cam Hanes who literally had to, not Cam Hanes, Adam Groomtree, who had to hike 11 miles out with like an 800-pound elk
You know, it took
back and forth.
You know, it took him 7 days to.
Exactly. It took him 7 days to pack it out. And they're saying it's inhumane. Why? He loved that animal by the end of that.
Hard for that.
Exactly. Like I'm saying, he loved that animal by the end of that process. Because he worked 7 days to get it out of a place where he shot it.
Well, it's super healthy when you actually have a connection with your food.
Yeah, it's an emotional connection.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like if you talk to any somewhat like educated or any hunter in general that is telling that if you're a random person on the street that eats meat from the grocery store, never hunted, never come from a hunting family, and you ask a hunter from a Cabela's or a sporting goods store, and you ask him like why he does what he does and what type of connection he gets from killing an animal, it's almost impossible to describe it.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble describing it, but it's just like one of those things that, you know what, it seems like the right thing to do.
Even when like my dad would go pheasant hunting, which is just you scare a bird and then shoot it, the process and the pride he took in preparing that pheasant stew
It's
was like a
delicious.
chemist. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy was just like, oh, it's gonna be great, and then
like,
fed his entire
hunters,
family.
And at least most of the hunters that I've met that are semi-decent people love cooking
Yeah.
and take pride in it too.
Oh, yeah.
Because they take pride in their meal because they know exactly where it came from because they worked hard for it.
Yeah, and it speaks to a much larger issue of people that don't understand the value of like a hobby that also takes hard work.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you have a lot of people nowadays that's like their hobby is playing video games,
Makeup.
which exactly, yeah, where they just sit behind a screen and play a video game and that's their hobby. Which is not. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. Just don't fucking look at my controller. All right, let's play a little UFC before you all came over. But see that's not even a hobby to me. That's something I do to pass the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not negating anything someone does with like video games. There's people out there that make billions of dollars playing video games, but it's like you shouldn't judge someone who has a hobby that feeds their family, is healthy. Like, it's a healthy release. You spend time with yourself and learn a lot about yourself in that process. I only speak from hearing people's experiences. I've never done, but it's this weird stigma that you get for people that are just feeding their families, having a good hobby, and paying out the ass to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to hunt. Like there's
I'm
grocery
so
stores. Exactly. He cried a little
the
bit.
Start of October 1st to January 18th, buying like gear, mostly unnecessary gear that I think that I need that will make the hunt better, but I actually really don't. And then other things that are necessity that I actually need, and then also the processing of the deer and
Sure.
everything like that.
$700 to get that mount. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, another thing that hunting does is the amount of people that it brings together. When like let's say when I go out to South Dakota and get pheasant hunting, like we all like group of 10 of us.
It's a group.
It's a group,
It's
it's
a
a
group
group of
activity.
10 of us. We're walking through the cornfields. We like get the pheasants and all that, and then we bring them back. Huge cookout, and the
Yeah.
amount of memories that are created with that.
stories.
Yeah, the stories that come
stories.
along with it are
Unbelievable stories.
insane.
Yeah. All right, I need you to stick a needle in this man's arm.
Yeah, I will after I say this. One sec. Now, the biggest thing is that, like, if you ask someone why they hunt, I guarantee you the biggest thing is they just say is, well, I hunt because my dad hunted. My dad hunts because his grandpa hunted.
Yeah.
And my grandpa hunts because his dad hunted. And
Yep.
so on and so forth. Because my great grandfather, whatever, hunted because it was a necessity.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And now where did that stop?
Yeah.
You know?
Convenience.
Where did that stop? It was convenience that made that stop. And honestly, the deer that I shot recently was my first deer that I shot with a bow. I've gotten one other deer with a gun, and I've gotten a turkey, and then I've shot pheasants and geese and ducks and everything.
Would you say that's a good progression to go through? Go small.
It doesn't really matter, but sometimes it helps. I don't know. But anyways, that's a whole another conversation. And honestly, like, when I shot this deer, the first thing I did was call my dad.
Yeah.
You know, at 9:30 at night in the pitch black dark in the woods, trailing this deer, the blood trail, waiting an hour and a half for my dad to get to where I was because I wanted to share that moment with him.
Yep.
I knew I saw the deer fall.
Yeah.
I knew he was there. I could have done all that by myself, but I called him because I wanted him there because I wanted to share that experience with him because it was such a bond between my father and I that it's so hard to describe that I guarantee you a majority of the population does not understand.
Yeah.
And
hear you,
majority
man.
of them won't understand until it becomes a necessity again to hunt. And
God forbid.
and yeah, right. And following that blood trail and finding the deer and dragging the deer out for a half a mile. I mean, this was like 150, 160 pound animal.
Yeah. It's no
So
joke.
it-
That's what I'm
it's-
saying. Like,
it's hard work.
you, like I said, by the end of that experience, you love that animal.
Yeah,
And then the fact that you get to feed yourself and your family off of it, you love that animal even more.
Well,
Oh, here comes the rubber glove.
once that you
Oh, I snapped it. Oh, God.
any experience that you can recall and tell back clear as day, that's something you'll never
had
forget,
an
you know?
impactful experience. on
Absolutely.
you.
All right, well, Jack's gonna stick a needle
So
in
while
my arm.
we have this conversation, while we do this experiment, do you think you can have a conversation while a needle goes in your arm? And do you think you can have a conversation while you put a needle in a man's arm?
All right, well, let's just talk to me.
You guys can
let's
talk.
not,
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's
Yeah,
let's
you
have
focus
Jack
up on that.
focus,
Oh my God, he's
'cause
putting a lot of shit around to protect blood.
What is and what needle is this? How many
Hold on,
people
wait.
have you poked?
I gotta put this on our Instagram story.
How many people have you poked before?
This is about You're about my third.
His third.
I'm in paramedic school right now, so more help the better.
This is his third needle that he's sticking into somebody.
Oh God. Spirit podcast. We put IVs in people, bro.
Bro, if I was about 3 weeks out, you'd be able to find this vein with no issues. And plus, you'd hit bone.
Oh no. Oh,
My mom's gonna be proud of me.
dude. I'm
Don't
proud
tell
of
her
you.
about this
Okay.
because she's in healthcare.
Can I put this on the
Yeah,
story?
you can put it on the
Okay.
story.
Oh, so Chris,
What's up, dude?
what we're talking with Jack about how this hobby's healthy and it
Mhm.
does great things for him and it's a good release. What do you think about all the people on the internet's freaking the fuck out about Fortnite being down for about 24 hours?
I think people need to fucking get their shit together.
Get their shit together. I watched a grown man punch his computer screen. A grown man.
Was it you?
No. I could give a fuck if Fortnite ever comes back.
Yeah.
Punched his computer screen. A kid took his controller and threw it through his TV.
Who paid for that TV and controller?
Exactly. If I'm his dad, your ass is whooped. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no coming back from that.
Well, I think there's hobbies. You can go for it, dude. I really don't care.
Well, you stopped talking, so.
There's hobbies that are in a positive realm where they make you a better person.
Yeah.
You know, but
And Pope.
I understand like the memories and all that kind of fun stuff you'll make on Fortnite, I guess, playing with your buddies, squadding up and all that kind of fun stuff. But there are so many better hobbies for you and that can put you in a better,
Right.
you can learn from them,
Right.
you know?
Exactly. But you're gonna throw a computer. You're gonna throw a cord. I mean, or a controller through a TV.
You miss?
Ignorance.
He missed.
And that's the end of that.
He missed.
Shit. Oh no.
You're not gonna go back in, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
It's unhealthy. And then the needles capped and everything, and then that's done. But it's unhealthy for me to go back in. But I missed. I missed the vein.
He missed. I don't really. I'm not the most veiny person,
No,
so
you aren't.
that's all right.
It's done bleeding. And that was it, folks.
We'll see you next week. But thank God it wasn't a live tattoo.
Oh gosh, dude. I
We
could
should do
never
that.
do
You know what
no
happened?
way.
You know what happened was I stuck you, and then I moved the whole thing. I just didn't keep going. At least I know exactly what I did wrong. Just keep
So
that-
you gotta be able to do that while a car's driving, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck, bro.
That's a thick needle,
That
dude.
is a
I didn't
thick
realize
needle. That's
they
a
were that
thick.
thick.
I want a picture tomorrow of whatever Bruce happened.
20 gauge. It's not that thick.
That's what she said.
It goes okay. So actually, here's a fun fact.
We're not
that-
sharing needles, bro.
Oh man,
Here's a fun fact that you might not know.
I
That
definitely
needles,
don't know.
that needles are actually sized like guns.
Really?
So a 20 gauge is a less powerful gun. A 20 gauge needle is a smaller needle. A 14 gauge is a powerful gun.
So,
A 14 gauge needle is a big ass needle.
so what I'm hearing from you is we need to ban all needles.
yeah, ban all the assault needles.
Someone said that, like one of my family members said, we need to ban assault weapons, like fully automatic weapons. You need to ban them, and I go, they are, and they're like, what? I'm like, you cannot buy a fully automatic weapon in the state of the United States unless you have a special high class license.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not
Like,
just giving them forward.
You literally have to be a Marine super whatever to get a license.
You need to be
buy.
SEAL Team 6.
Literally, I said that. I was like, I cannot go into a gun shop with my Floyd card and my concealed carry and buy a fully automatic weapon. And they looked at me like I was blowing doors out the back of their head. Did you hear that one senator say we need to ban? I held an AR. It weighs about 40 to 50 pounds, okay, and shoots a 50 caliber bullet, and everyone's like, that's not an AR-15. It shoots a 22 round and weighs about 10 pounds. Not even 10 pounds, man.
What was that thing that you sent me the Hodge twins did?
You know the
That might be it.
Oh, okay.
you know,
That
the,
was exactly
you know
what
the
it was.
definition of assault?
Please define it.
Assault is assault is verbally threatening someone.
Yes.
Battery.
Yep.
So
Oh yeah, I know that.
yeah, exactly. So assault weapon
Uh-huh.
is not even it's nothing.
Let's just do a quick thing for everybody. Okay, this is assault. Jack, I'm gonna kick your ass. That's assault.
Yeah, battery.
I kicked Jack's ass. That's battery.
Yeah.
That's what battery
Yeah,
is.
okay. So assault is I'm gonna throw 300 batteries at you. Battery, I threw 300 batteries at him.
Yes. And
That
also
would hurt.
and also, yes it would. Also, if you say, Jack, I'm going to hit you with a knife, that's assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
Now, battery with a deadly weapon is I stabbed Jack with a knife. That was a battery.
That was battery.
That was
I
battery.
just whipped him with the tourniquet.
Yes, you
It's
act.
called a tourniquet. It's technically called a constricting band.
What's with you
Sounds like-
talking a mile away from the mic?
Sounds like my last relationship.
It's not a tourniquet. It's actually called a constricting band.
Don't give it a kiss now. I still use
Again,
this
sounds.
mic.
Yeah. Deep throat it. Oh, okay. I think we've been going for about an hour and 40 minutes. If you guys want to wrap this.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Stop, dude. Come
No,
on.
hour and 20.
Just
Hour
let
and
me
20.
touch your thigh.
So, quick. Let's do a quick UFC breakdown because that's what we always do.
Who's
Uh,
kissing the homies goodnight?
Well, excuse me. Okay. So, did anyone here watch the Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Michelle Waterson fight?
I saw the highlights.
You're such a poser.
Shut up, dude.
Such a poser.
Okay, I was at a party.
So was I. I watched it on my phone because I could give a fuck.
Okay,
About the
but
party.
the party was in bad bitch nowhere.
You're not even committed, bro.
You're not. Do you even
watched
care
it.
about this
No,
show?
you didn't, dude. Shut up.
No, so you saw
Didn't
highlights.
even- okay, tell me, are those?
didn't even know.
I hate
know
you.
who he was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I was
You're
gonna
not a
say,
UFC
like,
fan?
Do you even know that
I
they're
can-
girls?
Okay, listen. I am just as like entertained in two grown men or two grown women beating the shit out of each other as the next human being. But some of these people have really hard names to understand, so that's where I'm out.
Like half.
He doesn't even fight, Chris. Which he should.
He would fuck so many
Super
people
heavyweight division. No, Joanna Jędrzejczyk fought Michelle Waterson. Joanna put on what I would like to call a clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally that's what she sounded like. Asian. Literally just kept throwing.
I want another try, but another time.
I got a lighter. You can burn that needle, sterilize. Let's try again.
Sweet, let's do it. I
No.
bet you that alcohol swab's still good.
I think I could find an
I don't
alcohol.
care, dude. I
Dip
mean,
it in
is
the whiskey
safe?
out there, bro. It's definitely not safe. It was a good. You're not gonna get. It's your own blood.
It's sterile.
You never know, dude.
You have AIDS?
Maybe.
Isn't HIV like detected within like AIDS is detected in like 7 years. HIV is like the time in between. You know that?
No, because we're not in
What?
paramedic school.
Well, yeah, but still, sometimes you get the.
You just got super depressed. Just like-
Alright, but anyways, UFC.
so did you? So you saw the highlights?
Yes, I did.
Did you expect that outcome?
Yes, absolutely.
You did?
Are you
Really?
kidding me?
Really?
Michelle, she's a mom. Joanna is a model.
What the fuck
No,
does
no,
that
no,
have
no,
to
come
do
on,
with
man, come on,
anything,
man,
Chris?
come on, man.
What are you saying about women?
Joanna
Yeah,
is a freak. Okay, she's a Polish machine gun.
now it's getting
She
racist.
runs hills.
You don't think Michelle runs hills? Look at those thighs.
Stop, dude.
Joanna broke her foot on her thighs. Straight up broke her foot on Michelle Waterson's thighs. Bad. Did you see that foot?
I'm so attracted
No, I
by
didn't.
that.
She had to be wheelchaired out, and then she went to the doctor. By the way, her vacation pictures right now. Joanna's
Joanna, dude.
Joanna's vacation
Yes,
pictures.
dude. She's sneaky, bro.
Dude.
She comes out of left field.
I didn't know boobs could be that far apart, but yet perky. Something wacky. No.
No,
That's
dude.
Rose, none of you miss. Get your fucking shit together.
I like short hair.
I
He's
understand.
weird about short hair, dude. Like
I dated a girl with short
Any
hair.
decent female human
Bro,
being out there in the
bro.
Chicago area with short hair, hit me
Bro,
up.
I dated a girl that is the female version of him. Looks very similar. The two of you could be siblings. Yeah, she was fucking weird. I
find
had
Jack attractive.
I'm in.
kind of a couple of whiskeys in. I found him attractive. I did kiss him goodnight once. After a
Dude,
fight,
that's
I did
just
kiss
kissing
him.
the homies goodnight.
I know
There's
that's nothing gay about it. But no, literally, I had to break up with her because when we made out and I grabbed the back of her head, it was just weird.
Jack, I'm still bleeding.
Out.
Yes, I am, dude. It keeps rubbing. I just keep rubbing it off.
It's not. You're not. Okay.
Fine, dude. Fine. I'll just let it sit out.
Yeah, just let it sit.
In the sun.
Anyway, so the next.
You really want to talk
The
about UFC?
I don't give a fuck anymore. I just don't. I'm so
Come on,
tired.
dude.
So November 2nd,
Yes.
where are we doing? Where are we going? If my house is ready, you coming over?
Well, dude, that. Why don't you come to the party, bro?
What the fuck's
My
going on?
brother's apartment party. I texted you about
Oh,
it.
yeah,
He's gonna
that's
have
right,
the
you're
fights
right.
on there too. You and your girl. Notice I didn't say her name.
Thank you.
Can also come.
It'd be a lot to convince her to go out to the city.
coming.
Fuck. It'd be a lot to convince her to go
Yes, you
out.
are. You're coming.
It'd be a lot to convince her to go out to the city. Be a lot.
Why? You guys can sleep there.
Okay.
Along with 14 other people.
Exactly. She's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I'm in college again." No, we have a house. We just go to our house.
I'm just saying, dude.
I know, I understand.
You can
I
go to,
appreciate
like,
the-
a party with your own age of
I
people.
appreciate the
You can get
invite.
drunk with your
If
bro,
things
dude.
if things don't go the way I want them, though, I'll be there. Not saying I don't want to be there, but I think her family's coming over to my house to watch the fight. To be a big old Italian fest with some nice select meats and cheeses.
Bibbidi-bobbidi?
Bibbidi-bobbidi. Mustaches and all. Bibbidi-bobbidi. Not a single one has a mustache.
All I'm saying, if I
Fine,
don't
fine.
go to my bro's party, he gonna be.
I understand
pissed.
that.
He
You
gonna be
have
pissed.
you have obligations.
Okay.
You have obligations.
I'm
I
just
have
saying it'd
mine.
be a lot of fun. You should come.
I'm sorry, we could FaceTime if we don't get to go.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll FaceTime.
Thanks for being on, Jack.
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you,
I
man.
love the guys.
I
I love
appreciate
being
it. Yeah, it was short notice. He hit me up on Instagram because I sent out a beacon for some topics.
You sent out a beacon from some topics, and I was like, yeah,
And I
what's
gotta
that
guess.
one guy with the Kentucky trip?
I am the
He was
topic.
pretty- He was pretty funny.
Jack made himself a topic.
I did.
He made himself a topic.
And I brought fun stuff.
Yes, you did. You brought fun stuff. You
Well,
brought
thanks,
food
Nicholas.
and medical equipment, which is the cornerstone of a good time.
Yeah.
That's what I
Well,
always say.
thanks again for having me, guys.
Oh, of course. Anytime. The door is open, literally and figuratively.
Literally anytime.
Literally and figuratively
What about the back door?
for him.
Ayo.
On the cast only, though.
You're okay with getting fucked in the ass on the cast. For
If it
views?
rhymes, it's the truth.
Woo! All right, guys.
Just kissing the homies goodnight.
Follow us. I can't do this. Follow us on Twitter at Spirit_podcast, Instagram with the Spirit Radio Podcast, and Facebook Spirit Radio Podcast. I don't know why I tell you guys that anyway, because our thumbnail is all of that information. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
The club ain't even